Welcome back to Comics History Guys Comic Book Reviews. Today we'll look at the latest Wolverine comic. It's a big event in Marvel where Wolverine is going to die. They're pretty open about that. There's no spoilers here. Pretty cool cover. Typical Wolverine cover. We have his claws going out and 3 months to die. And of course there's 3 claws. And since one is shattered, I presume that that is month number 1 out of the way. And then as the other will shatter, we'll get closer to his death. Now, I'm not a huge Wolverine fan. I have not been covering the storyline of what's going on here. There's a nice, and I think they're probably assuming a lot of people who may pick up this book are in a similar state, because this first page goes into a lot more detail of what's come before leading up to the story than I think you'll typically find in most Marvel comic books these days, which is handy. So I think they realize this is drawing in people who are not necessarily the every month pick up the Wolverine comic type fans. So I've got nothing against our scrappy little Canadian, but I'm more of a traditional old school X-Man fan, and I just saw him as coming in and stealing their thunder. And he has his purpose. I'm not a huge fan of Wolvie, but a lot, some of the more classic Marvel comic stories of the past couple decades have involved him. So the fact they're going to kill him off, I'm almost kind of happy. We'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll bring him back. They always do. But he's lost his healing factor, which is one of the interesting things about him. Guys like Wolverine and Sabretooth and Deadpool and a few others have this healing factor. You can do almost anything to them, and they keep coming back, which is both a blessing and a curse, I guess. So here we have Wolverine, who's searching for some answers, some backstory here. Basically, he goes to the Temple of Death on holiday. Interesting comment. Apparently, Death goes here to go on vacation and not have to kill people, I guess, based on what's going on. Now, this is Death. This is actually a pretty good shot here. Death is, of course, the girlfriend of Thanos, or at least Thanos wishes that were the case, and she makes a couple references to Thanos, which are actually pretty funny in here. The art and story, by the way, Paul Cornell is the writer, Chris Anka is the artist, and David Curiel does the colors. The art is, I go back and forth. Pieces of it are vague, not well defined. I'm not caring for some of the action scenes, but overall the story is interesting. The art is, this is a pretty good shot right there. Wolverine kissing Death, or Death kissing Wolverine. And if you think of it in an allegorical way, he's not really had the opportunity to kiss Death or even fear her because of his healing factor, which is gone now. This is large, there's some backstory here involving Sabretooth and whatnot. I won't get into that. But of course, he does look pretty evil there, doesn't he? Ooh-ah. So the main story is Wolverine and his conversation with Death. And, if you're not familiar with Death in the Marvel Comics, Death is not just this thing that everyone faces. It's an actual creature, a female, and everyone comes to Death. I've never seen her quite so verbose before. In the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity Gem story, she's almost silent. I think she was giving him the silent treatment. Here she's very, very talkative and talking about Wolverine and what he's been going through. Here, if you're familiar with Wolverine Origins, there's a lot of visual similarities between Wolvie and Sabretooth, and this, I think, just kind of shows it here. He looks a bit like a monkey, too. Again, I'm not crazy about that visualization. Death brings back some people from his past. Won't get into that too much. Sabretooth is being evil. And one of the interesting things here is that, Wolverine is in combat. He has no healing factor. In the past, you just go, go all out and go nuts and whatnot. But here, he really faces potential death. Oh my gosh, he looks afraid, doesn't he? So this is something he's not faced, which is actually a very good characterization here of our little friend. And Death has a very interesting comment here. I'll paraphrase that. Basically, she says to him, his acts of bravery in the past have been largely not really bravery, because he knows he can't die. Think about it. most of our heroes, they go around saving lives and getting in danger. Most of them know they can die. Wolvie, until this event, not so much. So how does that change him? So, interesting story. If you're into Wolverine, this is definitely a book to pick up. If you're an occasional Wolverine fan like myself, I think this is an interesting event. Wolverine actually dying will be interesting to see. And of course, as with most of these big events, it's going to have ramifications across the whole Marvel U, probably. And then will they bring him back? And of course, there's that rumor out there that Marvel is getting rid of the books that tie in directly to the franchises it does not control in the movie realm, meaning the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. So if they kill Wolverine, they might keep him dead for a long time. There's a lot of Marvel creators saying that's not happening, but a couple of them have said, yeah, that's the word they're getting. So we'll see. This might be a permanent or semi-permanent death for Wolvie. We'll see. Again, it's worth picking up. I enjoyed the storyline. Not crazy about the art, but I think if you're a Wolvie fan, it's worth reading. If you're not a Wolvie fan, it's a big event. And just the dialogue between Wolverine and Death, that's worth the price of admission, which in this case was $3.99. This is number 9 of the latest Wolverine series. One little bit of a bothers me here is we go to the credits page, which is right here. You see that right there. Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos, so I like to read the fine print. Wolverine number 9, August 2014. In the old days, they used to have volume whatever number 9. This is not the first Wolverine series. Won't be the last. Well, it might be. But I wish they'd be a little more precise as to which volume this is. I could look up on Wikipedia, I suppose. All right. Worth getting. If you like our reviews, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can get the updates as they're posted. Thank you.